Thanks, Josh. What a great introduction. And thank you, everyone. I am so excited to be here today. I am so pleased and honored to be part of the Scientific Advisory Board and to be taking on a new role as Chief Science Officer at Neolife. I really want to thank Kendra and the SAB members for the opportunity to take on a bigger role in the company. I'm also happy to get a chance to talk about the breakfast pack today, which my whole family loves, including my kids. So Neolife started the Scientific Advisory Board back in 1978 with Dr. Arthur First, who was a toxicologist, a pioneer in cancer research, and a professor at Stanford. The SAB ensures that the science behind the products is sound. And the SAB is actively involved in the formulation of the products. In a lot of companies, you might have one person creating the formulation, and they're not always a scientist. In our case, we have a team of scientists working on product formulation. Neolife is unique. We're a science-driven company that creates products that work. We have extremely high standards that you just heard Kendra talk about when it comes to quality. And our products are grounded in a whole foods philosophy because we want our products to mimic the vast array of nutrients that act synergistically in food. And Neolife's culture is truly unique. Not only do we have a strong mission and drive to educate people on the importance of good nutrition to stave off chronic diseases, but the people at Neolife, starting with Kendra and all throughout the organization, including our wonderful distributors, are people-centered, collaborative, and just plain amazing to work with. Today I'm going to talk to you about the breakfast pack, which includes Pro Vitality, Neolife Shake, and vegan protein, and how this system can help with weight management and optimal health and vitality. Before we dive into the details of the breakfast pack, I want to talk for a bit about metabolic syndrome, chronic inflammation, and our DNA, and how all of these things tie into weight gain and obesity. The World Health Organization estimates that more than 1.9 billion adults worldwide are overweight or obese. We now know that being overweight or obese can lead to chronic inflammation, and this type of inflammation, called metabolic syndrome, occurs at the cellular level. Metabolic syndrome can lead to chronic diseases like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and others. Metabolic syndrome isn't a disease, but rather it's a group of 5 conditions. When someone has 3 or more of these risk factors, then they have metabolic syndrome: high blood glucose, low HDL, which is the good cholesterol, high triglycerides, large waist circumference, and high blood pressure. Metabolic syndrome is caused by eating a typical Western diet, which includes saturated fats and high glycemic foods, as well as having an inactive lifestyle. Now, it's well established in the scientific literature that weight gain, especially around the middle, think apple-shaped men and pear-shaped women, increases inflammation in the body. However, scientists are realizing that when we eat a Western diet, even if it doesn't immediately cause weight gain, it quickly increases the amount of inflammation in the part of our brain called the hypothalamus. Now, the hypothalamus is the area of the brain that releases hormones, controls body temperature, and emotional responses. The hypothalamus also controls appetite. And if this area in the brain becomes inflamed by a typical Western diet before the weight gain even happens, part of the reason scientists think that this inflammation leads to weight gain later on is because an inflamed hypothalamus seems to increase our appetite. So it's not just as simple as cutting calories, because say we cut calories, but we're still eating a lot of saturated fats and high glycemic foods. These inflammatory foods will still have an impact on our hypothalamus, which can increase our desire for more food. So then we're often running on a cycle of trying to diet, but without any long-term positive effects. So yes, we need to eat the right number of calories for our body type, but more importantly, we need to eat anti-inflammatory foods, so whatever weight loss we achieve will last. Now, creating a healthy landscape in our body is critical. We want to focus on eating an anti-inflammatory diet, exercise, and taking supplements for a healthy inflammatory response. Examples of anti-inflammatory diets include the Mediterranean diet, the DASH diet, and a new recently studied diet called the Green Mediterranean diet, which focuses more on green vegetables, plant-based protein, and green tea. All anti-inflammatory diets have this in common. They focus on fruits, vegetables, lean protein sources, and healthy fats from foods like fish, nuts, and olive oil. Also, there are cellular changes that occur when we gain weight. For example, in healthy adipose or fat tissue, there's the right balance of anti-inflammatory and inflammatory responses. But the adipose tissue of an obese person is rampant with inflammatory responses, which is reflective of a chronic inflammatory state. Also, inflammatory cellular changes directly impact our DNA, because where's our DNA? It's in our cells. And what is made up of DNA? Our genes are made up of DNA. So that means that chronic inflammation impacts our genes in a way that can lead to chronic disease. Now, a lot of us think of genes as a static thing that we get from our parents. They give us our eye and hair color, our height, our shoe size, and things like that, and that's all true. But there are also lots of genes that directly impact our health, which we can influence through diet. Scientists have found that there are genes involved in chronic diseases such as obesity and diabetes and heart disease. More specifically, diet and exercise influence gene expression. In some cases, genes need to be inhibited or downregulated, and in other cases, genes need to be activated or upregulated. For example, there was one study that was done about 20 years ago where women ate broccoli muffins for a few weeks. And the researchers found that the broccoli muffins upregulated or activated the genes that can protect against cancer and downregulated or calmed down the genes that induce cancer. Now, there was a study on obesity and diet led by the USDA, which found that some people have a type of gene called ApoA2, which was associated with increased appetite and body mass index in the presence of a high saturated fat diet. It turns out that saturated fats, which are inflammatory, promote the expression of this gene. But monounsaturated fats, which are anti-inflammatory, downregulated or inhibited this gene. And change happens quickly. One study showed that it took only 6 days of healthy eating to change the gene expression of the study participants for the better. So we're not talking about months or weeks, we're talking about days for healthy changes to occur. And this is where the breakfast pack comes in. When we talk about the breakfast pack, which includes Pro Vitality, Neolife Shake, and vegan protein, keep in mind that these products, when taken in combination with an anti-inflammatory diet and exercise, act on multiple pathways in the body to help support a healthy inflammatory response. Let's start with Pro Vitality. Pro Vitality is foundational. It's the product upon which all other products should be built on. Pro Vitality is based on Neolife's whole foods philosophy, and it contains TRANN, carotenoid complex, omega-3 salmon oil plus, and 21 essential vitamins and minerals. It was designed to provide nutrition that's often missing in the diet. In other words, if you do nothing else, take Pro Vitality. Let's talk about how it helps with healthy weight maintenance. Carotenoids are pigments found primarily in fruits and vegetables. There's over 600 different types of carotenoids in nature. Recent studies have focused on the exceptional ability of carotenoids in modulating or regulating the expression of specific genes involved in fat cells and fat tissue. When we eat carotenoids, they enter our bloodstream, and high amounts of circulating carotenoids act on a genetic and cellular level to reduce inflammation and prevent insulin resistance. But most of us don't get enough carotenoids in our diet. Contrary to the recommendation that we should eat 5 servings of fruits and veggies a day, almost 100 studies from around the world have shown that we actually need 10 servings of fruits and vegetables per day. However, the CDC estimates that about 90% of Americans don't get the daily recommended servings of fruits and vegetables. That means 90% of Americans are not getting 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day, let alone 10. Carotenoid complex provides at least 15 important carotenoids represented in carrots, red bell peppers, tomatoes, spinach, apricots, strawberries, and peaches. In fact, Neolife's carotenoid complex was studied by USDA researchers and was found to boost immune capacity by 37% in 20 days by increasing lymphocytes, including natural killer cells. Lymphocytes are important warriors in immune health. So we know that carotenoid complex is working on a cellular level, which is what we need from our diet and from our supplements in order to create a healthy inflammatory response for healthy weight management. And each capsule of the carotenoid complex provides an optimal serving of a wide variety of carotenoid-rich fruits and vegetables. In other words, you get the equivalent phytonutrients found in a typical serving of fruits and vegetables per day by taking Pro Vitality. Now on to the healthy fat portion of Pro Vitality, omega-3 salmon oil plus and TRANN. Let's talk about omega-3 salmon oil first. The American Heart Association recommends 2 servings of 3.5 ounces of fatty fish per week for heart health. And a recent study of over 400,000 men and women showed that habitual fish oil supplementation is associated with a 13% lower risk of all causes of death, a 16% lower risk of deaths from cardiovascular disease, and a 7% lower risk of things like heart attacks and coronary artery disease in the overall population. So eating 2 servings of fish is important for heart health, and so is taking a fish oil supplement. Our Neolife salmon oil is the only product that's standardized to 8 important omega-3s. It's sustainably fished in the pristine North Atlantic waters. It's also ultra pure in that it's tested for over 200 contaminants, including mercury, lead, and PCBs. 1 capsule a day provides the equivalent amount of a little more than 2 servings of fatty fish per week, or about 10 servings of fish per month in a 30-day supply. A study on Neolife salmon oil done by one of our SAB members, Ariana Karugi, showed that it reduced triglycerides by 17% and improved the omega-3 index by 38%. The omega-3 index measures the level of EPA and DHA in red blood cell membranes. And the same study also showed that our salmon oil reduced an important cellular inflammatory marker by 68%. This means that Neolife salmon oil greatly improved the ratio of AA, or arachidonic acid, which is a pro-inflammatory fatty acid, in relationship to EPA, which is an anti-inflammatory fatty acid. So we know that our salmon oil works on a cellular level. So how does this relate to weight? Several studies have shown that fish oil helps to reverse the effects of metabolic syndrome, in part because omega-3s can inhibit genes associated with inflammation and activate genes associated with tissue repair. Bottom line, our salmon oil plays an important role in creating a healthy inflammatory response, which can then support healthy weight maintenance. Next up is TRANN grain concentrate, which was developed to ensure people get critical nutrients that are missing from consumption of white processed grains. TRANN is made from lipid extracts of GMO-free wheat, soy, and rice. It's unique in that it's literally the only product in the marketplace with a combination of these 3 oils. It was Neolife's first product ever developed back in 1958, originally created for a hospital research study on chronic fatigue. It's the world's first phytonutrient supplement ever created. In addition, the healthy fats found in TRANN as well as in salmon oil help to extract critical nutrients from raw food, creating greater nutrient efficiency. For example, if you eat a salad of raw vegetables without fat, you're not going to be able to absorb important nutrients like carotenoids from the salad. But if you eat salad with healthy fat, then the absorption of these nutrients increases anywhere from 2.5 to 15 times more than with no fat at all. In addition, there's recent research on rice bran oil and wheat germ oil that confirms what Neolife knew way back in 1958, which is that these oils provide significant health benefits. We now know that both rice bran oil and wheat germ oil can work on a cellular level to downregulate genes involved in inflammation and to upregulate genes associated with an anti-inflammatory response. Next up is the 4th component of Pro Vitality, which is our proprietary micronutrient blend. According to the World Health Organization, about 30% of the global population, over 2 billion people, have a micronutrient deficiency. Taking a supplement helps to provide essential vitamins and minerals often missing from the diet. We also added phytoenzymes to support easy digestion. Our micronutrient blend helps to bridge the dietary gap that occurs when many of us are unable to always eat well. So to summarize, Pro Vitality, 4 products in 1, provides the following benefits: abundant energy, antioxidant protection, heart health, immune support, healthy brain function, flexible, healthy joints, clear vision, youthful skin, hair, and nails, and this one, which I highlighted, lifelong cellular health, because Pro Vitality works on a cellular level. And a 30-day supply of Pro Vitality is equivalent to 12 pounds of whole grain lipids and sterols, 80 pounds of carotenoid-rich fruits and vegetables, and 10 servings of omega-3 rich fish. Let's talk about the rest of the breakfast pack. Protein. The protein portion of our breakfast pack includes Neolife Shake and Neolife Protein. We all know the importance of breakfast. There was a study that came out just last year showing that protein at breakfast was associated with healthy blood pressure and healthy cholesterol levels. So consuming high-quality lean protein at breakfast can help keep our hearts healthy. Also, there's research showing that eating breakfast improves energy and mood and short-term verbal memory. Protein helps with weight maintenance. First of all, it has an effect on blood sugar. Protein is a low glycemic food that slows down the absorption of carbohydrates, including glucose. Even a modest increase in protein consumption, combined with a modest reduction in high glycemic foods like white bread and sugar, leads to weight loss and an improvement in glycemic control. Also, protein consumption has a significant effect on satiety and thermogenesis. Both plant and animal protein increase something called total peptide YY, or PYY, in the blood after a meal. The more PYY in your bloodstream, the more of a satiating effect it has. So eating more protein helps us feel full longer. Even a moderate increase in dietary protein combined with exercise has a thermogenic effect. And we burn more calories when we eat protein compared to carbohydrates and fat. We use 20 to 30% of our calories to digest protein, and only 5 to 15% for carbohydrates, and very little, only up to 4% of calories to burn fat. So protein has a positive effect on blood sugar and on satiety, and it's thermogenic in that it takes more calories to digest protein than eating fat or carbs. Let's talk about Neolife Shake first. Neolife Shake provides 18 grams of biologically complete protein from a proprietary blend of 4 whole food protein sources, including whey and soy protein. It's biologically complete with 22 amino acids, including 9 essential amino acids, with the highest protein quality score possible. In addition, it's rich in branched chain amino acids, key for building muscles. It also provides a balanced energy supply of carbohydrates and fiber for satiety to help keep you full longer. Plus, it provides 25 essential vitamins and minerals and inositol. Our Neolife Shake was clinically studied, and when it replaced 2 meals a day, it was shown to help people lose weight, improve their body mass index, and reduce waist and hip measurements. Plus, the study showed a 15% reduction in LDL, the bad cholesterol, and it improved the HDL to LDL ratio. So it's good for heart health as well as weight loss. And I'm sure you will all get to hear some incredible weight loss stories a little later on in this event. Here's how this relates to our discussion of metabolic syndrome and genes. Whey protein and soy protein have been found to support a healthy inflammatory response. A recent meta-analysis of 37 studies with over 2,000 people showed supplementing with whey protein significantly reduced the components of metabolic syndrome in overweight and obese people, including waist circumference. Likewise for soy protein, which has been found to support heart health and support a healthy inflammatory response. Now on to vegan protein. 18 grams of biologically complete protein, plant-based superfood blend, 21 amino acids, over 3 grams of branched chain amino acids, an energizing healthy fat blend, less than 1/2 gram of added sugar, phytodigestive enzymes, 24 vitamins and minerals plus inositol, and it's GMO-free, gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, lactose-free, and easy to digest. Our soy protein is made up of our proprietary blend of peas and brown rice and hemp and fava beans and chickpeas. These plants also provide potent antioxidant properties, and they support a normal inflammatory response. Now, plant protein isn't just for vegans or vegetarians. It's a way for all of us to get more plant protein in our diet. Research continues to show us that the more plant-based protein we consume, then the healthier we are. For example, a recent study out of Japan showed that people who eat more plant-based protein may live longer than those who get their protein primarily from meat. In this study, researchers followed about 71,000 middle-aged Japanese adults for almost 2 decades. And they found that the people who consumed more plant protein were 13% less likely to die during the study and 16% less likely to die of cardiovascular causes. Let's talk about the healthy fats in vegan protein. Our energizing healthy fat blend is made up of monounsaturated fat from high oleic sunflower oil plus medium chain triglyceride oil. Monounsaturated fat and MCT oil both work on a cellular level to downregulate genes associated with inflammatory response and upregulate genes associated with an anti-inflammatory response. Plus, diets that are high in oleic acid have a positive impact on body composition and body weight. A recent review article looked at 28 studies on the effects of monounsaturated fats in the diet, and all of these studies showed that diets enriched with oleic acid lead to faster clearance of fats after eating, more fat burning, less fat storage, and reduced abdominal fat and body weight. MCT oils have also been found in several clinical studies to have a satiating effect, thereby decreasing the amount of food that people consume. And this effect on satiety occurred within only 48 hours of taking MCT oil. MCT oil has consistently been found in studies to reduce weight, including reducing hip and waist circumference, as well as reducing overall subcutaneous fat. MCT oil was found to be more effective than even olive oil when part of a weight loss diet plan. So MCT oil works on different pathways, including on a cellular level, to support healthy weight. And just like our Neolife shake, our vegan protein contains a micronutrient blend of important vitamins and minerals plus inositol. And these vitamins and minerals in both products are good for healthy bones, healthy vision, healthy immune support, healthy hair, skin, and nails, and healthy energy metabolism. Plus, choline and inositol work together to support healthy nerve cell transmission. Finally, let's not forget the influence that exercise has on metabolic syndrome and gene expression. A recent study had men and women bicycle using only one leg for 45 minutes 4 times a week for 3 months, and then compared muscle tissue in the active leg to muscle tissue in the inactive leg. The scientists found that in the exercise muscle, new patterns had developed in genes associated with insulin response, inflammation, and energy metabolism. So both diet and exercise impact genes in a positive way. So in conclusion, it's important to remember that a combination of genetic and environmental factors can create either an inflammatory landscape or an anti-inflammatory landscape in the body. An anti-inflammatory diet combined with exercise and the right supplements can help normalize cellular and genetic function. Neolife's Breakfast Pack is one of the tools we can use to support cellular health. The Breakfast Pack can help to support a healthy inflammatory response, improve energy metabolism, support healthy weight, improve satiety, promote fat burning, and promote overall cellular health. I want to thank you all for listening today, and I also want to thank you for everything that you do to get the word out to end the trend and in making a difference in people's health around us.